Hey Joan, hey Annie, hey Kathy, and Kathy, Jamie, hey Sue. I hope you guys can hear me. Hey Elaine. Hey Catherine, hey Sheila. Woohoo! Okay, hopefully we won't have any internet gremlins or YouTube gremlins or anything going on. Hey Pam, hey Barb, Lucy, hey Vicky. Let me hit the intro and we'll go ahead and get started. Hey Belkis, hey Bernie, hey Claudia, hey Maria. Anybody I missed? Hi. Do you guys see this on the screen? Do I need to make it a little bit bigger? Possibly. Thursday. The Easy Press totes are coming. Hi Cynthia. They are going to be in the 6x7, the 9x9, and the 12x10, guys. I did not get one. I am not a product expert, so they did not mail me one early. Nobody has mentioned price yet, but they are very nice. I did see them at the Mountain Make-a-thon in August when I was there. They are super nice. So make sure that you shop our links when they come available. I will post them in the group announcements in Facebook and on Patreon, and I will email it out as well. So if you guys want that, make sure that you grab them. I think that they're probably going to sell out and have to get more in, but who knows. If you have the blue, the sky blue 9x9, you will need to get the 12x10 bag. Your 9x9 will not fit into this bag from what I'm told. So just so you know, these were made for the Easy Press 2s. So as soon as I get some pricing on these guys, I will pop that information out there to you with a link. So I believe that these are the only colors right now. Paisley, purple paisley. I think these are the only colors now to match the raspberry Easy Press 2. If you have the Wisteria 9x9, I'm going to say it's going to be like the blue 9x9, and you're going to need the larger 12x10 bag. Okay? So I just wanted you guys to see that since it was just released. And if you go to the official Cricut Facebook page, they're doing a giveaway of a 9x9 Easy Press and bag. So you guys go in there and do that because it ends on the 24th, but they're going to give it away before it goes on sale. So make sure that you go to the official Cricut Facebook page and register to win. I think you have to comment and like it, something like that. So if you want to try to win one. Okay, and as you know, guys, we had some problems last week and couldn't go over it. So if you have any design space questions about the things that were moved from the attributes panel, as you know, these things got moved, and when we click it over here, we don't have our scissors or anything anymore, and it's all been moved up here. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and we'll answer those at any time throughout the live. Make sure you put your questions in caps so that I and the moderators can see them and pick them out easily, and we don't skip over you. We want to make sure everybody gets everything answered. One of the common things that everybody is going nuts about, thinking that it's lost, is the attributes panel where your information was when you clicked on something and it told you the information eye that popped out on the attributes panel. It is here, guys, but you have to right click and then it's going to give it to you down at the bottom, and it's going to tell you what image was used. The other thing is on text, and it doesn't matter if it's uploaded text or if it is a Cricut font. When you right click on that and go to the bottom, the image info, when you put over it, it looks like it's not there. It is there. It's grayed out. They do know about it. I don't know if they're going to change it, but they do know about it. So you just have to get in there and look really close, and it will tell you that it's balloon pops or whatever it is that was used. So this is the file. We're not putting this entire thing together, guys, because it does take some time because of all the little pieces. I did make a public file, and that is in the description below in the video. And this is the Patreon file, and this one has already been sliced and everything done to it for you guys. The layers and the panels and the font has all been sliced out of there. And if you guys need the font, I got this, I believe, off of the font, and it is called Balloon Pops. Doesn't give me a space, even though I put a space in there. But that is the name of the font. It's called Balloon Pops. So if you want to go in, because there is a panel in here that I didn't put anything on. If you want to slice the baby's name out of that, you can do that. It will be just as cute. Let me just ungroup mine. But all of your panels that go behind these numbers and all of that are there. And you can skip that totally if you want. So there are tons of things that you can do with this file. These are non-opening boxes, but you can do them however you want. Hi, Ann. Hi, Alice. So let me show you the one that I did. Let's see. I did this one, and I did an extra cube for you guys so that you could take this past 6 months if you wanted to. And so you're just going to swap out the other cube. One goes 1 through 6 and one goes 7 through 12. And I think that I used my 6 for my 9 and my 9 for my 6, but it doesn't really matter. There's a slight difference, but not much. So lots of things that you can do with these. I went a step further, and I don't know if you noticed over here, if you're a Patreon, you got this file. This one says it's a music button replacement cube. Okay, here's the regular cube. If you don't use a music button, you'll want to use this, but you don't want to cut both of them. You don't need 2 extra cubes. And I will show you what that little cube does. And this is the one that I put the button in, but if you press it, how cute. So I made this one where it will play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Hey, Louise. And you can put your button on the top, on the side. I just wanted mine on the side because I didn't want it seen on the top there. And it's probably hidden. It's almost hidden with my pattern there. So you could just decide where you want it and make sure you put your image on in the correct spot. So, how do we put those cubes together? Due to size, guys, I wanted a good size on these, and they're 3 by 3, and I'm just going to show the rest of you guys this music button before we put them together. To use the music cube, all I did was I got a music button, and I've had these for a while, but they still sell them. They're like $2. If you use a 40% off coupon, you're going to get it for a lot less. And they're back there with the doll hair and the doll making supplies. That's usually where they are. And it's just called a music button, and they have them that say happy birthday, some say twinkle twinkle little star, some Jesus loves me. There's just tons, and they all say different stuff, and you could probably find these on Amazon as well. But they are for stuffed animals and dolls, and they are encased in a piece of clear vinyl, okay? The whole button is. And if you are a Patreon, in with the file, you will see a very short, small clip, and I show you how to put this button in. I cut it out of this vinyl. I used 2 of these. These are glue lines. You can use the glue dots because these are really sticky, sticky, sticky. And that's why I used the lines, because I could wad them up. And the button has 2 little metal pieces on each side of the button. And I put that on each side of the hole here. And then I pressed the button down, making the button that you press come through the hole. And that's all I did. I used some masking tape. You can use masking tape, painter's tape. I used this right here. And all I did at that point was go over the button in one direction and then put one over it in the other direction, just as a precaution. In case somebody pressed it really hard, but it's not going anywhere because, I mean, these things are very sensitive and it just requires a very light touch to make them go off. So that should be sufficient in putting them in there. So any of you guys that want to put it in there, if you're not a Patreon, you're just going to cut a 1/4 inch hole in the center of your decorative panel and in the center of one of the panel sides in the file. Super simple to use, very, very easy. And guys, always check the clearance section. I've got probably 3 or 4 of these that I've had for a while. I got them for 50 cents a piece. So I think when the batteries maybe start to get old, they throw them in the clearance bin. But those I've had for a couple of years, and you can see that it's still playing loud and clear, and there's nothing wrong with it. So, to do the rectangular, let's start with the small box first. To do the small box, you're going to have 2 pieces. And to get it sized to this size, guys, to do 3-inch cubes and a 6-inch rectangle, I had to split these up. You can size it down if you want. Hi, Debbie. And then weld this piece on right here into your file, so that it looks like this, but it's not going to cut at a 3-inch cube with all of these on there because that would make it over 12 inches long. Your good timing, you're making the baby gifts. Perfect. So all we're going to do is I scored this. I'm doing these out of craft board, guys. I did not use cardstock for my base. I used craft board. It's heavier than your poster board, and it's lighter than your craft board. I'm sorry, your chipboard. And so it makes perfect boxes, and something like this that might get handled a lot, because this is going to be cute for pictures and photos and things like that, because you can go from 1 month to 2 months, 9 months, 6 months, up to years if you want to. And I left one side blank. You can put the baby's name here, or you can put photos on this, guys. You can stack them and do them different ways, however you want to do them. You can do whatever you want and do photo shoots with them and everything else. So it's something really cute for the nursery. And the paper stack I used on this was the Whimsical Garden. I came really close to using washi sheets, the Woodlands from Leah Griffith. That would be cute. You could cut your panels in washi sheets and then put your, and cut your numbers out of them and put them on that way. That would be cute. But you're just going to fold it on all the scores, and I just say away from you or mountain, whatever way you have yours facing. They all fold into the same direction. Nothing changes. And I am not using a bone folder on these, and I'll tell you why here in just a moment. I'm going to get everything folded. And then you have this one small one, and it has 3 folds on it. And I like to, before I do anything, is put this piece on and give it a little bit of time to dry. And I'm using the Art Glitter Glue. You probably can't see. I'm not putting a whole lot on there. I'm just getting just enough on there. And you're going to line that up so that it just stays square with the rest. And you can line it up back here as well. You can fold that. Make sure that it's, I wasn't quite square. There we go. Just going to keep that cube aligned and give that a second to dry. And the reason that I'm not using a bone folder on these is I want these, I don't know if you can see it. See how they're pushing back out? I want that, because these boxes will not be opening, and I want it, when I get to the end, I want them to kind of give me something to press against. And if they're folded in too flat, then they won't meet and they won't stick, because you're not, when you do that last one, you're not going to be able to get your hand in there to push them down. Congratulations, Anne. New grandbaby. So we're just going to take and glue. I'm just going to start. You can start anywhere you want to. It really doesn't matter, because every one of these tabs are going to be glued. These are non-opening cubes. Now, if you want yours to open, you can decide where you want it to open at and not. And I would probably use the small tab to do as one that opened. The one that we glued on to start with. And I'm just going to press that down, make sure that you've got it square, and then do your other side. Well, I had it square and pushed it out of there, didn't I? There we go. Just give it a second to dry. And then I'm just going to glue these two. Make sure you get those corners good, guys. But as you can see, you can get, I am going to use my bone folder for that. You can still get in there right now. You just want to get it lined up. Keep it square, give it a push down. And give that a second to dry. But this is making the small cubes right here. And then we're going to do this side. And a little bit on this one. And you can see how it's pushed up. See if I can get a camera angle on it for you. See how it's pushing up that way? That's the way I want that. That way it has something to push against when I close this up. So that actually when I push this down, it's pushing against that piece. Keep it as square as you can. And it should seal up. And then all you're going to do is take your decorative panels, and I used washi tape when I took these off the mat and just put a piece across there so that when I flip them over, I just put my glue on there and then put my secondary color. I used a navy blue Cricut back here for this and put that on, and then I glued both panels to the box. So then at that point, all you have to do is decorate it. And you can see all my little numbers and letters. Guys, don't throw those away. You might be able to use them on another project. Especially if you're doing a nursery and you're using a themed paper. You can use them for something. So the big box, the rectangle box, you've got 3 pieces for this one, guys. And you're going to have one that looks like this. You've got 1 tab on there and then 2 side tabs. And you're just going to fold those all, again, in the same direction. Yeah, this is heavier than cardstock. It's heavier than poster board. Guys, this stuff is sturdy. You can push on it pretty hard once you've got these together, and it's going to take a lot to crush them. And then what I did, make sure I got my score lines in the right place, is I'm gluing this one, the small tab right here. In the same manner we did that other one, right up on this side. Kind of making a cross is what we're going to do here. And the same with this one. All the folds go in the same way. And again, we're going to place this one right here. And guys, I didn't notice that when I did my first one, but this one, it's going to depend on if you use cardstock or if you use craft board. Some of these may be tight, so you may have to just snip off just a little piece right there so that you can get that in there square. It's not a big deal. You can probably take it off in the file, but then if you made one out of cardstock for some other reason, it won't meet up. And I probably took off a little bit too much, but I'm going to live with it. So we're just going to glue those down and then finish folding these, giving that time to dry. Trying to stay on camera for you guys. This is kind of tall and wide, so it makes it difficult. So then you've got your cross piece just like this. Okay, here's the first third and here's the other side. And then you're just basically going to do, and I think I messed up, I did. I knew something was off. Don't do as I do, do as I say. I'm glad this is just a practice one. Guys, this piece has to go down here. This piece has to go here. You have to have 4 folds up. Somebody didn't catch me and stop me. Oh well, it is what it is. There we go. Make sure that you don't mess yours up like I did. But there's an easy way to fix it. Pull it apart and redo it, right? There we go. So make sure that your you have to have these folds like this. They have to be this way. Let me show you guys again. 1 tab, put the long piece with the wide end at the bottom, and then the 2 with the folds. You would have used double stick tape. Yes, you could use double stick tape on this, Sheila. You sure can. I didn't do it for camera because I have a love-hate relationship with the double-sided tape. Thank you, Sue. And those little that red line stuff, sometimes it makes me say those crazy words. And again, you're just going to line these up, guys, and fold up, glue all your tabs. All the tabs get glued. Nothing is open. I like glue as well. Because especially with something like this, if you're extremely careful, you'll be okay. But I like to have that wiggle room to get the box square, and you don't always get that with the tapes. And here's the tricky part, guys. You're going to have to get your hand or your bone folder in there because this one is longer. To keep that square and get it pressed down. See, I didn't get that one in there. And I'm not letting my glue dry, so guys, make sure you let yours dry if you're using double-sided tape, because you want all your corners to stay square and you want them to stay glued. Some glue on my table. And then the same thing with this top as with the other one. And if you're doing one with the music button in and you want to leave an open side on it, I would go for it. It's not going to hurt anything to leave one open. And you're just going to repeat that small cube just like you did the first one with the other 2. Hold that square. And then you're going to place, mine's not perfectly square because I messed it up, but try not to mess yours up. Maybe that will work. I'm going to trim it off just a slightly bit where I messed up. And then you're just going to put your decorative panels on that. So once you're done, you should have one of these and 2 number cubes and 1 image cube or a music cube. Yeah, the red line tape holds good, Jamie. I love it. But like I said, I have a love-hate relationship. Last time I used it was with a project with you guys. And 2 days ago, I still found red strips of the covering where it had static electricity and stuck to something. Yes, Sheila, the Patreon file is different from the public file. Let me show you the difference. Let's see. Let me pull it up here really quick. And then I'll transfer over so you guys can see it. Okay. This is the public file. This is for everybody. I have not sliced out the numbers or any of the images or anything on this. This is just a basic file for the boxes. And then your Patreon file, I've already sliced these for you so that they're ready to go. And you've got all your blue panels and all that. I did not add these panels and I did not slice the public file. And if you want to change these up at all, it's easy to do. You're going to click on it, contour, and then you can contour out and make them blank again. Or you can use the one that I didn't slice that I left for the baby name or a photo and duplicate it, whichever is easier for you. Did everybody understand how the cube went together, even though I messed one of mine up? If you get stuck whatsoever, you guys, you know, you can message me and I'll walk you through it as well. Does anybody have any Design Space questions while we're here, since the new changes have come up? Yeah, I like to leave all my mistakes in because nothing's ever perfect when you're crafting. Things are just going to happen. That's just the nature of the beast. So if I mess up, I like to leave that in so that you guys can see how I correct mine or you can correct yours. You're confused about write and draw, Elaine? Write and draw are the same. Let me get a new file here. It's on the Design tab, Anita, at Crafting with April. That's where all the files are. It's on the Design tab. Hey, Neves. Yeah, we're going to have to get used to the changes. There's just things in here And I spoke with Anna, I believe it was, and she had already put in a suggestion for a hover on the pattern because it's bad. It's hard to see. They know it, but so that they are working on some works for it. They do know they're going to have to tweak some things. Let's see, write and draw. So, Elaine, what is... Yeah, it used to say write. Now it says draw. Let's just put the word... I always do that. I said text. Well... So if I have text and I want it to... We have writing. You can select it and change it to writing. But up here on line type it says draw, okay? So instead of write. You found it? Great, great, great. So instead of write it does say draw, and your cut and your score here is on the line type, and then of course your color. And again, I don't know if you saw the video I did when they first did this. Dependent on the pen that you select, if you select a fine pen, it's going to show you all of the Cricut pens that come in the fine. So if you want to use a pen and you're using the 0.4 millimeter, then these are the color choices you have in Cricut pens. So if you wanted the fabric pen, it's not in a 4 millimeter. It's not going to be there. Write and draw both use the pens, just like Jamie said. They both use the pens. If you want extra fine, when you select that, the colors are going to change to the pens that are available in extra fine. You could, Annie, as long as you stay within the 11.5 inch span. So it's getting close with it being at 3 inches. And then again, the gel pen, if you're using gel pens, these are the colors available in gel. You see that that list is shortened. You don't have as many color choices with gel pens. Your markers, same thing. They're going to get, this is the glitter gel, which is different from the gel. And then your calligraphies, you only have 2 colors in those. So, oh, thank you, Sheila. So, when you're selecting write or draw, this is where you're going to, let me get an image and change it to draw so that you can see that they are one and the same. Let's just grab that celebrate. If I wanted to change this to draw, all I'd have to do is select draw. Now it's all in one color. If I wanted to do this in colors, I can, let me go to undo. I can ungroup them, and then I can take this, celebrate, change it to draw, select the black pen. Then I can come over here to this one and maybe change it to draw and select, let's say, the gold pen. Let's say I wanted to do gold glitter. How about that one? So I would have to go to glitter, and there's the gold glitter. So now I've got that in gold glitter to go with that. And then I can change these to draw and go to a marker. Let's see. Let's just make them purple. So I have those. And then I could keep this as a green. Or I could just leave this like it was and then put all of this on top and have it draw on there. Change it to white. There are several things that you can do. So let's go ahead and make that one of the greens. Let's go with a jade. So now you've got all of these. We're going to select Select all. I don't want all. I want all of these. And align center. And then I can group them back. And now it's going to write. I would probably need to attach those. But if I attach, they're going to, I need to attach them to a shape for sure. So I would have probably had to duplicate the green piece and change it to white. I just didn't do it. Where is it? Right there. Let's just duplicate that and change it back to cut. Make it white. Arrange. Move it to the back. And then I would attach my writing to that. So now that's draw. Here's your write. They're the same thing. They're both going to use pens. Oh, you're welcome, guys. I really enjoy doing the videos for you too, especially when I know that you guys are getting something from them. So that covers your write and your draw and your line types, guys. The only thing that I can tell that's like really wrong right now, because I know that they've got some things coming and they've had to move some things around and get ready for that, I'm sure. But if you want to do patterns, you would come here and do print and then select this, and this is where you could choose your color for the print. If you were doing print and cut and you wanted it to be blue. But in your advanced tab, oops, I always do that. Right here, you're going to come from color to pattern. And then when you pull up your patterns, then you can insert the patterns. And if you're anything like me, you can barely see those patterns. And they are working on it. Hopefully we'll get a hover button. Hopefully. That would be sweet. So that when you hover over it, it blows out so you can actually see the pattern that you're selecting. Because some of these, like these right here, I have no clue what that is. Hey, Anita. The 99 cents for this file, is it in the calendar file that we just did? I'm on screen, so it shouldn't need to be focused. It should be in focus. I haven't changed anything there. But if I select one of them, then I can tell what it is. It will put the pattern in there. But this is the thing. We have to select the pattern to see what it is and then edit it. But we can't see, and it takes a little while sometimes for those to load. But everything is still here, just like it was before in the attributes panel. It's just been moved. In the Patreon file, let me take a look at that. When you, Annie, if you click, I'm sorry, Anita, if you click make it, it won't charge you if you click make it. I do use Access Images, Anita. So if you click make it, it should, it's probably the deer, I'm going to say. But when, because it's not going to show me, maybe down here. This is another thing, guys. You can click on the name of a file at the top, in case some of you didn't know that, and it will show you everything used in that project. So it's either that bubble pattern should not be in there. I don't know why it's in there. You can remove that. Find out what piece it's on. It's probably one of the green pieces, and delete it. That's probably what it is right there. Or either it's this create a critter. So you can replace that. I don't know which, it shouldn't even be in there. That's in mine. It shouldn't be in yours. I will have to open that one up, Anita. When you right click on it, it doesn't show. Right here in the layers panel, right click down at the bottom. Here's your image. This will show you what it is and take you to it if you click on it. But most likely it is the deer. The photo play that was in mine should not be in yours because I don't believe I put it in that one because I was picking my papers when I selected that. And I was using my file, not the Patreon file. Hey, baby. Yeah, I got them at Hobby Lobby. I believe Michael's and all of them have them. They're back in the stuffed animal and doll section with the doll eyes and the stuffed animal eyes and the doll stands and all that good stuff. The doll hair. All the doll making supplies. Aw, thank you. Okay. Did that answer everybody's Design Space questions? We covered the patterns issue. We covered the difference between write and draw. We covered finding your image from what used to be our attributes panel is now down here. Why do you need to pick the color when you're the one? Debbie, you don't, because whatever pen you're going to put in there is what it's going to write. But some people, they may be writing an image in 2 or 3 different colors. Let's say that they had a phrase that they were writing and they wanted it to be like a rainbow effect or an ombre effect. And they might want to change pens with each line. And that is going to prompt the machine to change the pen. And if you don't have it set at different colors, you will not get those prompts. Does that make sense? For instance, let's see. Let me go to my filter and let's go. Did anybody notice that the draw was gone from type? There used to be one that had that in there and now it's not there. Or maybe I imagined that it was. Okay, let's say we wanted to do this one. And this is how you have to do these, guys, when you want to change up. I'm going to duplicate this a couple of times. And let's say I want these in gold. And I want this in maybe a blue going into a black. And then this in gold as well. You have to use your contour. And I'm just going to hide all contours. And then I'm just going to bring these back. And I'm going to hide that. So now I have my lines and I want those done in gold. So I have to come over here and I have to tell it that I want to do those in the gold glitter gel. Okay, and now I have those set. And then I have to come in here and contour this one. And I'm going to hide all contours again. And I am going to bring back the first 2 lines. just by clicking on all of that. I think I got it all. So now I have, oops, I missed my dot on my F. There we go. Let's go and get that right there. So now I have this section, and let's say I want it to write in blue or red or even the wine. So I'm just going to select the color that I want that. And then I'm going to come in here and contour this one. I'm going to hide all contours, and I'm going to bring back this. And you have to pay attention. Some of your letters will have 2 or 3 clicks on them, but you can always come back and get them. And I'm going to hide that. And see, I missed the tail of my R there, so I'm going to go back and get that. So now I've got adventure, and let's say I want that to be in blue. So now that is what the prompting of the pens are for, because I could not do this in Design Space. It would write it all in one color, and I wouldn't have any control over it if I didn't select the pens. And then I would attach do it? I don't know if attach would do it. I have to put it on a card and attach it. So that is the basics of that. So once I put my card in there, my shape, and I get my card, and I'm going to change that to white, and we're just going to pretend that this is my card that I have. And I've already sized it to the size that I want. Arrange, send it to the back. Then I'm going to align everything like I want it. I'm going to select it all and attach it to there. And now when it sends over to the Cricut, it's going to tell it to draw and then cut. Let me just hit continue. I didn't have my machine on. So now that they're attached and I've got them over here, and there goes my Bluetooth finally. Once I hit my cardstock, you can see that it's going to tell me to put in my gold glitter pen, clamp A, and then it's going to write it, it's going to stop, and it's going to prompt me to change to the wine pen, then it's going to prompt me to change to the blue pen. And if I don't have a way to choose those, it's not going to stop and prompt. It's all going to write in one color. So I hope that that cleared that up and answered that for you, and maybe taught some of you who didn't know that that was even available, that you could even do that. Yeah, you can change the number of the colors of the pens, and you can change images to write, guys. You can pick any of your images in here and change them to write or draw. So that you can have that, instead of cutting that out, you can have it draw right on there. You just have to separate it. If you want it to do it in different colors, you have to separate it out if it's all one flat image. This one was an actual image in layers. So you have to ungroup those if you want them to go in different colors. And you have to attach them to a shape. If I were to not have a shape and attach all of these, they're all going, no, it doesn't on right. It would all go to one color, I think, on the others, on the images, when you attach. Anita, you can scan images and make your own. Scan them on your printer and upload them. You take a screenshot of it like a PDF, and then you upload and clean it up just by going to upload. Could I explain what flat is used for? Flatten is to, this is an image that I brought in. I'm just going to get a couple of them. Let me get that one too. Let's say that you wanted to do these two images right here, but you don't really want to have all of these little pieces or a ton of layers. You're going to select them all and flatten. When you do that, they no longer cut, but it's going to print, and I flatten them to a square, so it's going to print just like this, and then it's only going to cut the square. Yes, Anita, I do have a video. It's using sewing patterns, but it's the same thing. You can still scan your image and upload, or if you have your favorite stamp, say of a old truck, and you stamp your image, but you want it to be bigger, you can scan it into your into a PDF, take a screenshot of it, bring it into Design Space, clean it up, and use it that way. But that's what flatten does. Flatten just makes it a print then cut. Let me get another one that doesn't have my square in there. Let's take this one. And you see how this one has nothing behind it? You can see the grid. As a matter of fact, let me change the color of the canvas so that you guys can see the canvas behind it. You see all of this back here behind it is now yellow. When I select that image and I flatten it, it's flattened, but I can still see all of this yellow back there behind it. That means that it's going to cut. Anywhere you see that yellow means it's going to be cut as a separate piece because I haven't attached it to anything. If I want it to come out as a square, I have to put a shape behind it. And let's change that shape to white. White is the only color that doesn't print. And now if I flatten that to that white, now it's going to cut, it's going to print it, but it's only going to cut a square instead of cutting out the word in these little bitty pieces. So that's how you stop that from doing all of those little bitty pieces. Thank you, Sue. So flatten, that's all that flatten does. Just remember, when you flatten, it's going to take several layers and make it one layer. Let me see if I can find one that's got 2 or 3 colors here. Let's see. Mickey has colors. Okay, let's just use this one. If I wanted to print and cut that instead of having all these little bitty pieces and all these colors that you see over here, if you look at this layers panel, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different layers. Okay? So when I flatten it, watch the layers panel. Now it's one layer. And it's print and cut. So it's going to print it, and it's going, wherever you see this yellow back here, those are going to be cut lines. Wherever you see your background color, those are your cut lines. And that's the shape it's going to cut. Yes, it is just like a print and cut. The only difference between the print and cuts is they're already flattened when they come in. So when you're looking at your images and you filter and you go to printables, let me take that Mickey out of there. Images, filter, printables. All of these are already flattened for you. You see the little printer? They're all flattened already. That's the only difference between print and cut and you flattening it yourself. It's just that you can take cuttable images and flatten them to make them print and cut, but not all print and cuts can be changed to a cut, if that makes sense. Let's take this one for instance. So I can change that one back to cuts. This one, maybe. Sometimes they will give you the shapes so that you can cut them. And this one did. It's giving you a couple of them. So if you wanted to maybe pop this up, I don't know if we can change it to a, that one's just a cut. Yeah, it's going to print it. No fill. If I change it to no fill, I can get just the shape without any of the detail. Not all of them can be done that way, but some of them can. Okay, guys, did that answer everybody's questions? Did anybody else have any questions tonight? Yes, very important, Sue. When you change the cut path from a draw, it won't fill it in. It's not going to fill anything in. It's going to follow the cut path, especially on fonts. Oh, you're very welcome, Elaine. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions that we didn't get to, save them for next week or ask them in the group, and we'll be happy to help you out with those. I have some very important things coming down the pipe for you guys, and I'm very excited. Hopefully we can get those out to you really quickly in the next week or so. Yeah, that's correct, Anita. That I got rid of my scan and cut because I can scan it on my printer, upload it, stretch it, shrink it, whatever I need to do. You're welcome, Debbie. So I do have some projects. I know I haven't been putting out as many projects as you guys are used to, but I do have some things coming down the pipes, and you will see why I haven't been putting out as many projects in the next couple of weeks. So you guys stay tuned. I have some surprises coming for you.